This is an extensive tier list in which we'll be ranking every single Mortal Kombat 1 character based into 3 different categories. The 3 categories being number 1, base kit, number 2, cameo synergies, and number 3, aesthetics. These 3 categories combine to create the fun level of a character, which usually goes quite underappreciated if that character is considered bad, like some of us. For each category, I'll be giving it a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being so good I might need rehab, and 1 being so bad I might want to go to rehab. This list is obviously subjective, but I'm going to try to keep things as unbiased as I physically can. With that being said, go ahead and grab some snacks, sit down, and enjoy the video. Starting off with the fire god himself, we've got Liu Kang. Now, for Liu Kang's base kit, I'm going to go ahead and give him a 3. Liu Kang doesn't really use a whole lot of different strings. He uses like his kick for armor break and uses his really quick punch string, and that's about it. And then for the most part, you're kind of just using that, going full screen, throwing projectiles like Call of Duty. That's kind of your whole strat on Liu Kang, and truth be told, it's okay. It's very neutral gameplay. I don't think that it's like the most fun in the world, but if you like that style of very simple, it's alright. Cameo synergy, I'm going to have to give Liu Kang a 1. Legit. Liu Kang is only good with 1 cameo right now, and it's Kung Lao. You need that throw thing. The only other one that works is Motaro, but even then, it just becomes even more of a zone fest, so truth be told, I don't think that Liu Kang has the best cameo synergies at all. However, for Liu Kang's aesthetics, we're going to go ahead and give him a 5. The Fire God aesthetic that they gave Liu Kang in this game makes him so much more satisfying to play. His moves just look incredible. It looks like you're playing Goku damn near, and I really think they made Liu Kang look incredible in this game. So the aesthetics really saves how fun this character is, and for that reason, we're going to go ahead and put Liu Kang in B tier. Next up, we've got Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero, his base kit, I'm going to go ahead and give a 5. I think that Sub-Zero's base kit is incredibly fun to use, and all of his moves flow together really well. The ice dive kick, the ice clone, the only thing that feels kind of wonky in comparison to other games is the ice ball, but I feel like it's kind of made up for with all the other moves. Everything that Sub-Zero does is just fun. The overhead feels very satisfying to land. The low freeze combos feel great. I think that Sub-Zero's execution is done flawlessly in this game, and I think that he feels at a base level without any cameos incredibly fun to play. Now, let's talk about the cameo options. Kind of like Liu Kang, Sub-Zero doesn't have access to as many cameo options. He used to before Trimmer got nerfed, but now he's really only got one playstyle, which is just this Serena stuff that I have Sikander. By the way, shout out Sikander, best Sub-Zero. We have some Sikander showing off, and a lot of people use this strategy online. They just go to Sikander's channel, watch him play the game, like, all right, this is an encyclopedia for Sub-Zero. I'm just going to copy this, and it works out very well for you. So it's good in terms of meta, but in terms of fun, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3. I don't think it's the most fun currently, and I think it can change with cameo changes in the future. For aesthetic, I'm going to go ahead and give Sub-Zero a 4. I think that he looks really cool. His new personality of just a very cold-hearted individual, very mean, and not Kuai at all. It's definitely Bihan, and I really like that. I really think it's an interesting direction to take the Sub-Zero character. So yeah, 4 for the aesthetic. His skins are dope. His new invasion skin is awesome. The skin that I have Sikander is wearing down here looks incredible. I think that everything that Sub-Zero can do in this game in terms of aesthetic also looks great. So that's going to go ahead and get Sub-Zero on the A tier in terms of fun. Now we've got to talk about Scorpion. You know we had to use the main man himself, Mike Trollinski's gameplay. Shout out to Mike Trollinski. Love your channel. Scorpion is absolutely dookie buns. I have no idea how you played him for so long, Mike, and I have no idea how anyone plays this character. I'm going to go ahead and spoiler warning. Everything on this list is pretty low for Scorpion. His base kit, I'm going to go ahead and give a 1. Scorpion's base kit is incredibly boring. Scorpion should never be a zoner. Simple as that. I don't know why Scorpion sits full screen nowadays. Your whole game plan is being full screen, waiting for people to get hit by your low, and then that's it. That's really it. You can maybe do some teleport setups, maybe do some fireball. Who cares? It's incredibly boring, and anybody who's played Scorpion in the past is not really enjoying Scorpion in this game. And if you want to go for a different playstyle, the only other one that's good is like chip damage with Striker or Cyrax. And I mean, if you want to go down that route, I mean, have fun, but it's simply not that fun. And then you combine that with this cameo usage, which I'm going to go ahead and give a 3. Now, Scorpion can use a bunch of different cameos: Motaro, Cyrax, Sector, Striker, Shujinko damn near. But here's the thing. None of those cameos actually make Scorpion's gameplay more fun. You can grab all these cameos to help you out, whatever, but what ends up happening is Scorpion ends up being boring still. And the reason he ends up being boring still is because his base game plan is so absurdly boring that nothing can save it. You are still stuck in that zoner aspect. What the hell is Mike Trollinski doing down here? I think he's eating a Jelly Belly. For Scorpion's aesthetics, we're going to go ahead and give him a 2. I think that Scorpion looks okay in this game. I mean, I've never been a fan of Human Scorpion ever, and I don't think they did it well in this game. His fire powers are very boring. He doesn't use anything unique with his fire powers at all, which sucks. They're basically just a Demon Slayer anime trail. Like, look at the way that it's used in Mortal Kombat 1. There isn't a single usage of that fire that makes sense, except for the little ground flame, and oh well. So what? He's had that shit for like 10 years. Let's get some new fire stuff going, please, shall we? For all these reasons, I'm going to go ahead and give Scorpion a D tier. I think that Scorpion is kind of dookie buns right now, and as sad as it is, I mean, I really hope Scorpion gets some love in the future because he is in a rough spot. Now we can go ahead and talk about Kitana. God, I hate fighting this bitch. Kitana is honestly pretty fun to play, I'd say. She's a zoner, but she's got very fun full screen setups for those playing her. Playing against her absolutely sucks, but I think that they did a really good job at making Kitana fun. Now, is she as fun as Mortal Kombat X? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And for that reason, I'm only going to give her a 4. But Kitana is decently fun in this game. I feel like if you pick up Kitana and you're a Kitana player, you're going to enjoy the way she feels. Very elegant, very graceful, and they did a good job on her character design. So, base kit, definitely a 4. Cameo usage, I might go with a 3, maybe even a 2. Kitana can't really use anybody apart from like Jax really well. There's some cameos that you can use with Kitana that are okay, but Kitana Jax is usually where it's at from what I've seen. Maybe Striker with some low, even then though, it really is just Kitana Jax. And when a character gets so polarized by one cameo like that, it's hard for me to give them above a 3, honestly. So I'll go ahead and give her a, honestly, I'm going to go ahead and give her a 2, bro. I don't see anybody but Kitana Jax online ever. So, truth be told, I'm going to go ahead and give her a 2 until they start making cameos work better with her kit. And for aesthetics, we can go ahead and give her a 4. Like I said, they did a very good job of making her elegant and graceful in this game. Every single attack that Kitana does looks like something a princess would do. They did a fantastic job showcasing that aspect of her personality. So, yeah, I mean, that gets a 4 in my opinion. So, with all that said, I think I'm going to go ahead and give Kitana an A tier. She's a very fun character. Now, here comes the one everyone's been waiting for, this little Oompa Loompa in Combat League who's been making me pull my fucking hair out, Johnny Cage. Listen, y'all, as much as I hate the guy, I gotta give my flowers. Johnny Cage's base kit is a 5. Johnny Cage is so goofy in this game. You can run around doing the craziest counters. Every move they gave Johnny Cage feels incredible, and it feels 10 times more Johnny Cage than it ever has. The hype meter, building around that gimmick, flawless. I think that it is really fun and such an interesting addition to Johnny Cage's character, which he's been missing for the longest time. So, in terms of base kit, big W. I just fucking hate fighting against it. Cameos, I'm gonna have to give that a 5 too. And actually, yeah, I'm gonna have to give that a 5 too, because the thing that I like about Johnny Cage, what I feel like other characters should be doing, is you don't pick a character just to enhance Johnny Cage. You don't pick a cameo to use that cameo all game. You pick a cameo to enhance Johnny Cage. So any cameo that you pick enhances a certain aspect of his kit. You pick Cyrax, you'll have hype meter almost every combo. You pick Striker, you're never unsafe. You pick Goro, which Zombat is doing here. I don't even know what Goro does. I think he's able to jerk you off while you're doing combos, which is a pretty good +2. So that stuff combined, pretty great. Then we have aesthetic, 5. 5's all around, dude. Johnny Cage is hilarious and maybe the funniest Johnny Cage has ever been. His kit is incredibly flashy, and everything about Johnny Cage aesthetically is almost perfect. So you know what? Johnny Cage is the first S tier of today's video. Next up, we've got the blind swordsman Kenshi, Stevie Wonder with a sword. What do we say about him? I'm going to give base kit a 5. Sento, one of the most unique and interesting mechanics ever introduced to a Mortal Kombat game, and I think that is incredibly fun to play with. Now, to play against, I'd rather shoot myself, right? I mean, I can't sugarcoat it. I can't make a joke about it. I would rather shoot myself. I'd rather end it. But, however, it's still fun. When I've played Kenshi, I have a good time, and I don't want to do that. So, I will say, for base kit, when you're playing it, I'm going to go ahead and give that a 5. Good time. Cameos, Dog, I might give that shit a 2. I might give that a 2. You need someone to hold them in place to bring Sento out. And, like, the only 3 who can do that possibly are Frost, Sub-Zero, and Cyrax. That's it. That's it at all. Like, that is seriously it. So, I mean, when it comes to cameos, yeah, Kenshi gets a 2. Kenshi's cameo usage is absolutely buns. But the reason that is because you have Sento. So, it's kind of hard for me to say, like, oh, it's absolutely the worst in the world. Because you basically have 2 cameos every game. So, I'll give it a 2 because... With the implication that it's because Sento that's how he works. Aesthetics, I'm gonna give Kenshi a 4. While I really think that Sento is fun to use, Kenshi doesn't look as cool as he used to. Now, Mortal Kombat X Kenshi, coolest shit in the world. The telekinesis stuff that you could do is way cooler than the stuff you could do in this game. However, I still think that Kenshi's aesthetics are cool. So you know what? Yeah, 4. I'm going to go ahead and give him a 4. I think Kenshi might be another S tier. I'm going to go ahead and place Kenshi in S tier. Now we're moving on to Kung Lao, the cheap copy from that dude from 007 with his little hat. You know what I'm talking about? I don't even know his name, but he's 10 times cooler than Kung Lao. Base kit, 2. Sorry, Kung Lao players. I have never found this character interesting in my whole life. You have a dive kick and a projectile, and that is really it, in fast attacks. Okay, maybe one day you'll add something interesting to this character that makes him unique or special. I don't think he has anything that's interesting at all, as a matter of fact. The closest they've come to ever making Kung Lao cool was the Great Kung Lao Ancestor Spirit in Mortal Kombat 11. I thought that was cool, right? I thought that was an interesting thing to add to the character. And now he's back to this, where he just beats you up, throws his hat at you. That's really it. I think it's incredibly boring, personally, and I've never enjoyed it. Cameo usage? 2? 3? I mean, I've only ever seen Kung Lao Goro because every Kung Lao player plays the same way. They spam their armor attack on Wake Up and use Goro to make it safe. Okay, I mean... it's just not fun, dude. That's just not fun. I haven't seen a Kung Lao player use anybody else except for another fucking Kung Lao with a hat. And that's even more boring. And then we go into aesthetics. 1, dude. It's boring. It is so boring. If they want to go for, like, the Ip Man fucking cool martial artist, they did a horrible job. Like, I don't think that this character has anything that, like, makes him just stand out to me as, oh my god, this is the badass martial arts character. No, he's not. He's the hat guy. He's been the hat guy for too long, in my opinion. I'm going to go ahead and give Kung Lao a D tier. Have fun with Scorpion. Next up, we've got Mileena. Base kit for Mileena, I'm going to go ahead and give a 5. I don't care. I think Mileena's base kit is very cool. They took all the aspects that players loved about Mileena in the previous games, all the ball rolls and the crazy bullshit she can do, upped it to 11, and then added more stuff. They gave her that crazy 2-bar Psy thing, that you use that, and then you teleport to them and get a full combo. Disgusting. You have that disgusting air roll thing that shoots 3 Psys out of you. Great for combos, and it looks badass. Very interesting additions to Mileena. These new teleport kicks that are like from angles. Very strange, very unique, and very interesting. I like Mileena a lot, and I think that her base kit is very fun. Cameo usage kind of falls in the same category as everyone else. You're stuck to someone else. You're stuck to your little butt buddy. For Mileena, that person happens to be Scorpion. This Mileena is happening to take Kung Lao because it's just another cameo bullshit. But at the end of the day, if your character only picks like one cameo or whatever in the meta right now, I can't give you above a 3. It's just too boring. For aesthetic, I'm going to go ahead and give Mileena a 5. Once again, I think Mileena's aesthetic is great. They turned her into an actual monster now. I don't want a blowjob. I'm scared of her. I don't want to see her in my bed at night, okay? If I saw that, I'd be scared. She has a strange looking mouth. It wraps around you, right? It doesn't look normal. It looks like the Predator from Mortal Kombat X, and I think that addition to her is really cool. Giving Mileena Tarkat, one of the best things they could have done to make her actually scary. It's no longer just Kitana with teeth. It's actually a scary character. And I like that a lot. So, props to NetherRealm for making Mileena scary again. And for that reason, I think I'm going to go ahead and give Mileena the S tier. And next up, we've got Raiden. I think Raiden is Suck my balls, Raiden players. You're boring. I'm sick of getting storm celled, and that's that. Now we can go ahead and discuss Rain. I think that Rain's base kit, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3. Very zony, very patient, but once you start getting the setups rolling, it's very fun. Actually, I'll up it to a 4 for that reason. I forgot about how cool the setups can be. The portal setups and the whirlpool setups are very fun to get going. However, his other stuff isn't the most fun. It's kind of basic, so I can't give it a 5. Like, not every aspect of his kit is incredible, but overall, Rain's a very fun character base-wise. And you can pair Rain with a lot of different cameos, so I'm going to go ahead and give Rain a 4 in cameos as well. I see Rain Strikers, I see Rain Sectors, I see a lot of different Rain stuff all the time. Rain Kung Laos, I mean, a lot of it is basic meta stuff, but in a game like this where everyone else is just running the same cameos anyway, gotta give Rain some credit. I mean, truth be told, he's running a lot of different people, and there are a lot of different shenanigans are happening with different cameos. So, yeah, 4 for 4. Aesthetic, 2. Hear me out, 2. Rain was cooler as a ninja. I don't mind making him a zoner, but I don't like the little ponytail shit. I think his costumes are disgusting. They all suck. And, he's not as cool as he used to be. Rain used to be so much cooler because he was, like, striking you with lightning, and, like, now he just throws a lightning ball at you, and it's kind of like, oh, okay. I don't know. Something about his aesthetic in this game just doesn't feel right to me. It's not as fun as it used to be, and for that reason, I can't give Rain, like, an S tier. I'm going to go ahead and give Rain a B tier. Next up is Smoke. I think that Smoke is incredibly fun in this game, right? Once you finally get the mechanics down, you can do those cancels whenever you want. Bro, Smoke is a blast to play. He's just so quick, so fun to utilize. His execution is so interesting, and it feels so satisfying to win and hit all of his mix-ups. For that reason, I'll go ahead and put him a 4. I think that he's 4. Yeah, 4. The only reason I don't have him a little bit higher is because for how fast-paced his gameplay is, he has a lot of slow buttons that kind of slow him down a bit too much for my liking. I hope that if they buff his, like, timings in the future, I think that'll up to a 5. Cameos, I'm going to go ahead and give Smoke a 4. I think that you can use a lot of different cameos on Smoke that are just very unique and very strange. Like, I've seen Smoke shoot Jinkos and they whooped the shit out of me. I've seen Smoke Sectors, Cyrax. I've seen the weirdest things that just shouldn't make sense. I don't think they would have any synergy, and all of a sudden, Smoke comes out of the woodwork and starts whooping me. Bro, Smoke Striker, most annoying thing I've ever fought. Perma Invis. I'm fighting Danny Phantom 24/7. It is ridiculous. Aesthetically, I think Smoke is a 3. I don't think giving him tactical magic, as they say in the lore, is the best direction to go for Smoke. I liked him having just smoke magic and being somewhat magical like his brothers. But it's done well, I think. I'm not a big fan of his design in this game. I really like the free-flowing hair, but at the same time, once again, it's not done horribly. And I really like the addition of the karambit, so for aesthetics, yeah, I'll give him a 3. That is actually going to land Smoke, I believe, low S tier. I think Smoke is very fun. Once again, on the precipice of A+ and S tier, Smoke is a lot of fun. Look, now we have Li Mei. Alright. I'm pissing people off, bro. I know I said this isn't a biased video. I'm trying to keep it that way. Fuck Li Mei. Listen. Till it's backwards, fuck Li Mei. I think this is the most paint-drying character in Mortal Kombat history. You jump around, you spam your incredibly safe strings nonstop, you spam your projectile, one that sits in the sky so they can't jump your projectile, and one that is completely broken on the ground, and then you win. It's as simple as that. I'm giving Li Mei a 1. Fuck you, and fuck anybody who likes Li Mei. I hate her, and I will never come around to this character. This is the only... I will go to the grave with this knowledge, brother. I hate Li Mei. Cameo usage. 1. Name one Li Mei who doesn't use Scorpion, brother. Name one. That's what I thought. Cameo usage, 1. Aesthetics, 1! Holy shit, they did nothing with her, bro. They had this cool-ass lion show up in her fucking fatal blow. Really interesting looking. All of a sudden, guess what? She never uses it again. She just uses you, like, blasts you with purple blasts and throws her lanterns up, and that's it. 1. Li Mei, you're at the bottom of D tier. Have fun. Now, this one actually, once again, talking about bias, this one hurts me to say. It hurts me to say, but I gotta be unbiased. Yo, Baraka's boring, chat. Baraka is boring. All you do is run around, chip people out all game. I get it, bro. Your whole game plan is get that little kick out there, the 2-hit, break their armor, spam the same strings over and over. Sometimes you can get a mix up, but like, look, I'm gonna just be real. Baraka's base kit is a 2. It's a 2. The only reason I give it above a 1 is because it has a gimmick. It has that little chip damage gimmick that's interesting, but it's the least fun and interactive gimmick they could have possibly given him for both you and the opponent. And that brings me over to Kameo. Kameo 1. You need a Kameo that is an ambush that can keep you safe as Baraka. Otherwise, don't even play the guy. His entire kit revolves around chip damage so harshly. Like, just so very harshly that there's so much stuff that you can mess up. Aesthetics. Here's where he actually gets some decent reprisal. Baraka's aesthetics, this game, best they've ever been, right? Tarkat, interesting. He's the man of the people. His costumes look great. His blades look great. His brutalities are sick. Everything Baraka does is sick, brutal, and is awesome. I'll go ahead and give his aesthetics a 4. For a Tarkat, pretty badass. For that reason, I'm going to go ahead and give Baraka a C tier. Our first C tier of the day. I think Baraka deserves it. Alright, once again, some feelings about to get hurt. If you play Tanya, you read books. And I don't mean like the cool books. You read like fucking encyclopedias 24/7. I don't understand how you're even playing the game still. Like go become a construction worker or a painter or something. There's so much things in life that are 10 times more boring than playing video games. Why do you choose to do this to yourself? Tanya, holy shit, is so boring. I can't even believe how boring she is. You sit back, do a slide. The slide is like the coolest part of her kit, bro. You have that little dinky ass slide, and it hits and it looks cool. So what, bro? Everything else, you spin your little stick around. You spam projectiles. Your teleport is way more boring than it ever has been, bro. They gutted Tanya. Do you guys remember Mortal Kombat X Tanya? I loved her, bro. The spear stance was so sick. Now this is what we get. I mean, you barely even see the teleport anymore. Tanya, base kit, 1. Cameo usage, I'll give her actually a 4. I've seen a lot of different cameos on Tanya. I've seen Goro, Sonya, Chameleon. I've seen Strikers, obviously. Striker cooldown is everywhere. But I think that Tanya has decent cameo usage because she's kind of one of those characters that has a pretty solid base kit in terms of the meta. So she can kind of hold her own. Aesthetics, once again, bro, 1. Just 1. Straight up 1. They had this cool stuff, like just like Lee May, where they have like these fists come behind her. I thought she was going to do some like Hashirama bullshit, where she starts whooping you. Nope. She doesn't do anything with those hands. It does nothing. It's so boring. I really wish that she had some kind of like Hashirama, 17,000 hands hitting you at once. No, she does not. She hits you with nunchucks. Chat, that's boring. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to give her C tier, but I think that Tanya is pretty boring. Not as boring as Lee May. Pretty boring. It's like a less boring version of Lee May. Before we discuss the BBC Master himself, I just want to remind you guys that I'm live streaming every single night Mortal Kombat gameplay. Go ahead and follow my Twitch, linked in the description below. I also have a Discord server, the Flounder Family. Meet some friends. Let's get some tournaments going when Crossplay's out in a couple of days, and let's get excited. Hope you guys are enjoying the video so far. Thanks for watching. Now we've got the BBC Master himself, Geras. Geras, base kit, 5. They made this character fucking awesome, dude. He used to be this very boring grappler in Mortal Kombat 11 that everyone hated to fight, and now fighting Geras is a lot of fun. He doesn't have a just broken command grab. It's actually very hard to hit, and you kind of have to tick throw it every time. And if you miss it, you're getting blown up. It's like the most unsafe move in the planet. So great design there. His time stop, really fun. His like snap mechanics and his little hourglass stuff, bro, it's sick. Good Geras players are some of the most fun players to watch in Mortal Kombat in general, and I think that Geras is got to be one of the best designed characters in the game. Cameo usage, I got to give Geras another 4, or another high score with a 4. Geras has great cameo usage. I see all different types of cameos used with Geras. Now, The most prevalent ones are Motaro and Kung Lao because of that teleport stuff that you can do. Get some free time stop combos, which is great. But I've seen other stuff. Like this Geras, Will King, is running Tremor and beating the shit out of Mileena with it. There's so much you can do with Geras because of how flexible this kit is. Aesthetically, Geras, once again, I'm giving 5, dude. Sand looks 10 times cooler. He actually uses the sand in a way that makes sense. He's using tornadoes and shit. His costumes look great. He sounds great. He's not a villain anymore. The role that Geras fits, he feels like a long-time Mortal Kombat character that has been in the game for a long time and fits with the cast very well. I think that Geras is great in this game, and for that reason, Geras is getting an S tier from the Flounder. Next up, we've got Mark Zuckerberg, Reptile. And we're going to be using the extraordinary Reptile himself, Honeybee's gameplay. Love your vids, brother. Reptile, a lot of fun in this game. I'm willing to give Reptile a 5. I am. Base kit of Reptile, I think, is really fun, but the only thing holding it back, in my opinion, is how frequently you use that low string. There's really only one string that you use on Reptile, and it's that low overhead, or that low fucking bing, bing, bing string. You know what I'm talking about. The same string you're probably going to see Honeybee use in a couple of seconds. You look at that bottom left corner. It is his best string in neutral. I like most Reptiles only use that string. I'm going to go ahead and give him a 4 for that reason. I think that characters who only use one string the entire game does make it a little bit more repetitive and easier to like get burnt out on the character. So Reptile gets a 4 in fun factor. Cameo usage, 4. Once again, 4. I think Reptile gets a 4 sweep. Reptile has a lot of different cameo options. Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Cyrax, he has so many different playstyles. You can go invisible, you can focus on damage, you can focus on so many different things that all these other cameos enhance. So Reptile can be used with really any cameo and succeed. Aesthetically, Reptile is the best he's ever been. Reptile is a great looking character, great personality. The giant lizard form transformation, I love. I think it's the coolest addition to Reptile ever. It's a perfect balance between human and lizard form, and for that reason, this gets a 5. And for that reason, I'm going to give Reptile high A tier. Next up, we've got one of my personal favorites, Havik. Havik is like kind of my main in Mortal Kombat, so it pains me to say this, but truth be told, Havik is not that good base kit wise. He has no overhead and very one string character, right? You have your back 2 and you have your forward 3, and that's really it. You have some slow zoning, which can be fun to use sometimes, but for the most part, Havik is boring, dude. As someone who plays Havik a lot, I think Havik genuinely has a lot of parts about his kit that are just boring to use and not the most fun to execute. I'm going to go ahead and give Havik a 2. I think that Havik is very, very boring in terms of base kit. Where his fun can come in is cameos, but there isn't a single cameo that you can use on Havik that makes him good, right? Like, you can use Striker, really, that's your best bet, and it's still boring. You know, there's no cameo that makes Havik less boring, legit. It's all about that, keeping it, just staying safe on your back 2-2s, using your horrible wake-up armor that you don't actually, it's not actually wake-up armor, it's just armor. That you have like 3 hits on it, but you can't punish anybody with it unless they're using the longest string ever. Cameos don't really help with that, you know? Cameos don't really help with that at all. I feel like cameos are kind of in this weird spot where the wake-ups on cameos just absolutely suck, and I never see anybody use them. I personally don't, because they almost always fail. So maybe if they decide to buff wake-ups on cameos, Havik gets higher, but bro, I'm damn near giving Havik's cameos a 2. Design-wise, dude, it's hard to give him above a 3. It is, because all he does is rip his fucking arm off. You're Havik. You're a chaotic character with chaos magic, and all you do is rip your arm off. It's so boring. It's so boring. Why does he have pupils? He's a Yombi. A Yombi wouldn't have pupils. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things about this character that just don't make sense aesthetically. Bro, I have to give Havik a C tier. Let's talk about this bitch, Ashrah. I hate Ashrah, but I said no bias. Kit, 3. I'm going to give Ashrah's kit a 3. She has a lot of interesting looking moves, but when you break it down to how she really plays, the exact same thing as every other character. You find like 1 or 2 strings that you spam all game. That's really it. Now, I will say Ashrah's kind of saved a little bit more because she has more zoning and she has more like whiff punish ability. So you want to stay in a specific spot on the screen the whole game. That part can be fun if you're really good. But Ashrah is so broken that you can ignore all that and just kind of get like 50% damage combos off of any hit anyway. So that doesn't really matter. I'm giving Ashrah a 3 in terms of base kit. Cameo usage, I'll give her a 3 as well. I think that Ashrah can use a variety of different cameos, but similar to Johnny, but in the wrong way. Ashrah's kit is so weird and wonky that you don't even need a cameo, and it honestly feels kind of like she should have been in a game without cameos. Like, this character can just do anything. You don't even need... That's why every Ashrah goes like Serena or something. Just give me a projectile. Give me something I don't have yet. Because Ashrah legitimately has every tool in the game and she's safe on everything already. So you don't really need anybody else. In terms of aesthetic, I'll be nice here. I'll give Ashrah a 4. I don't think that she's incredibly cool, but she's way cooler than she was in Mortal Kombat Deception. Way cooler than she was in any of the 3D era games. Now she actually has personality and she seems interesting. So I'll give her a 4 there. And that will go ahead and put my Ashrah in the B tier. Ashrah's a decently fun character, but, you know, and I don't even have to change the gameplay because we're already watching the best Sindel, Sonicfox. Shout out to them. Sindel, very fun character base kit. I will not lie. Once again, no bias. She's super annoying to fight, but to play, super fun. You have a lot of like very interesting shenanigans with your overhead flight. I think that stuff is very fun to use. Going for up block baits and throwing them, stuff is pretty interesting. The scream, getting their cameo out of there, like all of her mechanics are very fun to use. Kameo Synergies, I haven't seen a single Sindel player use anybody but Kung Lao, so I'm gonna have to go like 2. Every Sindel player uses Kung Lao and uses his hat for that overhead low mix up. It's boring. Sindel gets a 2 from me in cameos. She doesn't do anything interesting at all. She picks Kung Lao, has him do her fucking bidding, and then that's it. Aesthetically, I think that Sindel is significantly worse off aesthetically than she has been in a minute. It makes sense for her to be like a graceful kind of, you know, prince, I guess, queen. Yeah, she's a queen. So I guess it makes sense, but at the same time, I feel like they can't choose between whether or not she's brutal or graceful, and she has too many weird interactions that kind of clash, but I don't think it's too bad, and I'll honestly still give her aesthetic a 3. I still think that, like, it's pretty solid, but, like, Mortal Kombat 9 Sindel had me shitting myself, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't get much better than that. So, for that reason, I think Sindel gets the A tier. And here comes Big Daddy Shao. I'm going to go ahead and give General Shao's base kit 5. Switching stances is a great idea for Shao, and it's really fun to use. I think that General Shao's base kit is actually a lot of fun. Having the 2 different modes of, okay, now I'm poking, now I'm going to be in the mid-screen trying to hit something, okay, I hit them. Now it's all about setups and pressure, getting that overhead, getting that low off, finding ways to mix them up. Having that switch mid-game is a lot of fun. I really appreciate how they did Shao in this game. Cameo usage, 4. I see General Shao's with a lot of different cameos. Chameleon, Kano, Kung Lao, Striker, the usual, I mean, obviously. But still, Shao can use damn near anybody and do something unique with them. And I think that's a lot of fun. Motaro's another great one with him for anti-zoning. Aesthetically, 3. I don't like General Shao's design as much. I don't think that the axe is as cool as the hammer. And I don't think that his fatalities are the best, but he's cool still. I think that he's still got a cool design for like for not being the big boss anymore, for just kind of being like somewhat of a lackey kind of bigger character. I think it still works. However, what I will definitely say is it is not nearly as cool as Mortal Kombat 9 Shao. I think it is slightly cooler than Mortal Kombat 11 Shao because that was just a whole nother scenario, but aesthetically this Shao is okay. I think there's nothing to write home about, but it's still pretty cool. So for that reason, I think that Shao also gets high A tier. Now let's move on to the DLC characters that have released so far. We've got Omni Man. Brother, I think Omni Man gets a 5 base kit. I think that Omni Man's base kit is so much fun to use. His optimal combos are so interesting and intricate and fun to do, and everything about him just feels perfect. I think the Omni Man is incredibly fun to play, and there's a reason that everyone plays him online. Cameo usage, I would give Omni Man a 3. I see Omni Man with one of 2 cameos, either Kung Lao or Jax, and that's really it. And I think that having 2 different unique playstyles is decent, but I would like to see some more variety in the future once cameos get buffed, so I'm going to go ahead and just slap that at 3. Now for aesthetic, it's kind of hard because he already has an aesthetic because it's a guest character, but for guest characters, I'll just go ahead and talk about how they did in comparison to how they are in the show. And what I'll say about Omni Man is he gets a 5. This is Omni Man. Ripped straight from Invincible. They ripped him straight from the comic book pages and stuck him into the game. Legit. It feels perfect. It's voiced by the exact same dude. All of his moves feel brutal. Viltrumite. It's perfect. I think that they did a wonderful job on Omni Man. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to give Omni Man's aesthetic a 5. And I'm going to go ahead and give Omni Man S tier, because I think that Omni Man is one of the most fun characters in the game. And finally, we're going to go ahead and hit the Quan on him. We've got Quan Chi. Quan Chi's base kit, it's bad, right? It's not balanced the best. But in terms of fun, 5. One of the most fun zoners ever released in history, and it makes sense for Quan Chi so much to have portals. It's just beautiful. I think the Quan Chi is so much fun. Kicking them from full screen is so much fun. Bullying them with the kick me sticker makes me laugh hysterically online. I love the way Quan Chi plays in this game. Now, Kameo Synergy, I'm going to go ahead and give Quan Chi a 4. I've seen a lot of very interesting stuff with Quan Chi's cameos. Scorpion's a great one, Serena's a great one, Sub-Zero is a great one. There's a lot of different options, and he has so many different playstyles with so many different cameos that he gets a 4 actually. For aesthetic, I'm going to give him a 4 as well. I think them adding like the Eldritch Beast, like the Cthulhu coming out of the portals, coolest thing they've ever done to a sorcerer like Quan Chi ever. And I think that it makes the character 10 times more fun to play. Also, his moves just feel great and they feel powerful. They feel like you're an actual warlock beating the shit out of somebody. So for all the aesthetic and the fun factor and all those things combined, I think Quan Chi gets high A tier. After taking one last final look at this tier list, I decided to switch a couple of things around. I moved Mileena down to the high A tier and I moved Kitana down to the high B tier. That way we have an actual top 5 in the S tier. And this is my definitive list. I genuinely believe that this is the actual most fun characters in the game ranked D tier to S tier. I think that the top 5 that I've chosen is 100% the most fun characters in this game. Now, like I said, this is obviously always subjective, but these guys have a lot of things going for them. That's all I have to say. And with that, that'll be it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like I said, please go ahead and follow me on Twitch and my Discord server. And yeah, that'll be it. I'll be live tonight like I am every night, and I'll see you guys then. Peace out.